Hello traders, I put a note out in the room about this pound US dollar. This is a 4-hour chart. You can see this chart pattern took about 3 weeks to set up, and ultimately, so I took it from the high of 6th of March and the high on the 26th of March, and then as we opened up on the 27th, Tuesday 27th, we literally just came straight down for about a couple hundred pips. So what I'm seeing at the moment is I'm seeing this sort of roof, this three-wave pattern on the top, running along the top of the pound. It's been very slow to grind up here on relatively low volume. So we've got US inflation tomorrow. So I'm just looking to see if this can topple over. If you look at the MACD, you can see we are pretty pathetic. When we toppled over here, the gap between these averages and the central median bar was quite high. It's not as high here, but nonetheless we've got the histograms coming slightly lower. So if we can get through the midline, then maybe we can get a bit of a downdraft. In the meantime, let's put that back. So that's the 4-hour. Let's look at the quick look at the weekly. So let's go to the real big time frame. You can see the trend line coming in from the pre-Brexit high to the January high. That's capping this movement as well, and there's a good few red bars in that weekly chart. So I think it's all to play for as we get towards US inflation tomorrow. Okay, so and the hourly, you can see as we've normally got marked up, normal setup, we are reaching some highs and we are looking a little extended intra-week as well. Let's see how that one pans out. DAX. So big push overnight as Xi Jinping, I think I said that right, is sounding more approachable, which the markets liked. So we saw this big push up overnight, it's 1-2 o'clock UK time, and the pullback at the moment has been bought. We did short it in the Euro session and unfortunately left about 30-40 pips on the table. gave it back, tried to get the stop to break even thinking it would push lower. Unfortunately it didn't push lower until a couple of hours later. My fault, I should have just scalped it and taken it off, but that's fine. Was not fine. I will do what I can to make money out of this at the moment. So on the weekly we are right at the top of the channel. This channel is coming in from June 17 highs. Where have I picked it up from? These highs back in March and this high in Feb. We're literally just touching it now. So we have got a lot of congestion up here. Well, let's see what the markets want to do. I think if we see a proper drop back to where this broke up from at 250, which will be a gap fill, that's where the close was yesterday. I mean, this sort of volatility we've got, that's still possible. Anything's possible in the sort of volatility we've seen in this kind of market. So we've got really, really low volume, very narrow range. We're hardly popping out of the open trading range, the London Open. It's so slow. In the meantime, we've Dow, not too dissimilar. So we've got a gap of 23,980 on that one. So I still think, if you look at this 4-hour chart with the monthly pivots up here, I still think we could come right the way back down to 23.9. It seems a bit crazy having had such a big boost to the upside here. If I'm wrong and this fails to drop, then I think something as simple as looking at 200, 220, so this 50-day average down here at 178 looks possible. Okay, so overall we are, let's just look at, let's put a 60-minute chart up. You can see we are basically in this big box. That's the main box, and then we spent quite a lot of time in this secondary box, and the main pivot around that is 230, which is why I'm just wondering if this market is just going to want to dip before it's going to get ready to go, if it is going to go. Okay, so I want to see a proper pullback into that support. And I think that's what it's going to take to get this market going. And at the moment, it seems to be, yeah, as soon as some of the politicians start talking, making announcements, the market gets shaky and down we come. Okay, so like I said, if I'm wrong, this market's really bullish, just watch for 175, 200. Otherwise, if we do start to break these levels here, we could come tumbling down to this main support of 24,000. Alright, that's as good a indication as I can give, bearing in mind we've had such a big push to the upside overnight and we're so flat in London. So stand back, wait and see where we are 30 minutes into the open is my advice to you, and wherever we are in half an hour into the session, you should see whether this market is holding up or whether they are just selling into it. Thanks for listening, and I will update you as the US session gets underway. Alright, bye for now.